Hi there, my name is Jeff. Welcome to Better at Volleyball. Do you have a serving routine? Let's talk about that in today's video. If you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to give you a bonus ninja tip on how to use your serving routine to score some easy points. Alright, so there's a lot of different important parts to do with serving, and the serving routine may not seem that important when you're trying to get better. But there's a few key ideas I want to share with you today that I think will help pay off when you're playing your games. Your first question might be, Jeff, what are you talking about? What's a serving routine? Well, I'm going to roll a few clips of different people serving and how they start their serving routine while I talk about it with you so that you can see different examples. When I say serving routine, I mean everything you do between the time you get the volleyball and you serve it. Do you bounce the ball? How many times do you bounce the ball? Do you take steps towards the line or stand still? Do you spin the ball in your hands? Do you practice slapping the ball with an open palm? Do you do a practice toss? These things are all possible parts to a serving routine. Now you may be thinking, I never pay attention to any of that. I just get up there and I serve the ball. And if you do that and you have great results, you're one of the best servers on your team, you have very consistent results, you want to stop the video now and don't listen to the rest of this. Just keep doing what you're doing. All right. Now that we've let those folks bail out, the rest of us can talk about our serving routine and what we can do to improve it or how we can use it to our benefit. Let's go ahead and talk about why people use a serving routine. The first thing is it gives you a feel for the ball. Personally, this is the most important part to me. I want to bounce the ball a few times and hold it and get a sense of how flat or how bouncy the ball is before I decide to serve and decide how hard I'm going to strike the ball. The second thing is it gives you a chance to gather your thoughts. As you step up to the ball, as you go through your serving routine, you're giving yourself a few seconds to go through the motions of doing something else while you can get your mind right for the serve you're about to do. And that goes along with number 3. This can be a calming habit. So think about the most stressful point in the game. The game is on the line, you get the ball, and it's your chance to serve, and your team needs you to come through with a great serve. You know it's time to go do work, and because you have a consistent serving routine, you can put yourself in that mode where you just do what you always do. You step up to the same place, you bounce the ball the same number of times, you spin it or toss it, whatever your routine is, and you just do what you do. It's muscle memory, and you've built it in, so you're not going to hesitate. You're just going to do your job. All right, the fourth reason that you may want a serving routine is because it gives you a moment to eye the competition, survey the court, choose your target, see what your coach is going to signal you without just standing there holding the ball and staring at them. So by doing the serving routine, you have a moment to kind of eye the competition on the sly when nobody's actually sitting there looking at your face because they're watching what you're doing. To me, those are the 4 reasons why you would use a serving routine. So the next question that I would think you would ask is, what should you do? What's the right thing for you to put in your serving routine? And unfortunately, many coaches just kind of say, whatever you think you feel like doing, whatever feels right to you. Well, that's not helpful at all. So let me give you a couple things to think about. First, you want to keep it brief. You want a short serving routine. You don't want a whole lot of complicated things that you're able to mess up. Technically, you have a time limit. From the time that you get the ball and the ref blows the whistle, you actually have a time limit before they would call you for delay of game if you don't serve. So the longer your serving routine is, the more troublesome that could become in some situations. Now that's pretty unusual. Most refs won't call you for that. But if you have a really long serving routine and then halfway through you get mixed up, you bobble the ball and then you hesitate and you decide to start over, they're probably going to call you if you take just way too long. So keep it brief. All right, number 2 is make it consistent. I'm going to roll a clip of Heidi during a serving streak on one of our recent games, and I just want you to pay attention to how consistently she approaches her serve every time. Now, it doesn't have to be 100% exact every time. I bounce the ball exactly 4 times every time. I spin the ball twice every time. It doesn't have to be that precise, but make it consistent. Make it an easy habit to replicate, so easy that you'll stop thinking about it. What you want is something that's so natural and so consistent that after you've gotten used to it, you don't have to think about it. You can be thinking about your target. All right, also, don't freak out. Just know that every once in a while, you're going to mess it up. You're going to bobble the ball, fumble it a little bit. It's not going to spin just right or bounce the way you expected. Just know that's going to happen once in a while. Don't panic. Don't hesitate. When that happens, players often think to themselves, oh no, I have to start my whole routine over. Oh, will I have time? Everyone's staring at me. Are they going to be annoyed that I'm taking so long? Is the ref going to blow the whistle? Just relax. Know it's going to happen once in a while. And at the end of the day, you know how to serve. The serving routine is just a tool to get you in the right rhythm and give you a chance to get in the right frame of mind. It's not a performance that you're being judged on. You don't have to be 100% exactly right every time. So don't panic. Okay, but you might still be asking yourself, but what should you do? What should I do, Jeff? Okay, so the bouncing really has to do with getting the muscle memory, coordinating between your brain and your muscles, deciding how hard you need to hit the ball based on how bouncy or how flat the ball is. So if that's important to you, like it is to me, bounce the ball a few times. Slapping the ball with an open palm is a slow motion simulation of what you're going to do, and sometimes, especially for beginners, it's helpful to get them thinking about exactly how they want to strike the ball. Doing a practice toss can be helpful if you're new to doing an overhand serve and you haven't been getting consistent tosses in the right location. That can be very helpful, but you need to be careful about this. Because if you do that, most of the time, most referees will only let you do one bad toss. So if you walk up to the line and on purpose do a toss and let it fall, that means you have to hit the next one. So I've watched some players walk to the line and do a practice toss every time, and inevitably, sometime they will let a perfect toss drop because that's their practice toss, and then the next time as they're tossing it up, they'll mess it up and they'll kind of have to chase it to hit it. You don't want to put yourself in that position. So really think about that one before you add it to your routine. So you may be asking yourself, but Jeff, what do you do? And so I'll show you. I'm going to let a clip run here of some serves that I did recently in a game and just watch how consistent it is. Now, in the beginning, I'm doing underhand serves because we were totally crushing a team. But then you'll see I put in a few clips of my overhand serves in a totally different setting. And guess what? The serving routine is the same. I don't count how many bounces I do. It just happens. 3 or 4 usually. So what should you do? Use 1 or 2 of the ideas that you've seen in the clips today. Piece together a few different things that will help you feel comfortable and develop your own serving routine and practice it and make it your own. Are you ready for your bonus tip? Thanks for sticking around. Okay, so here's the idea. If you have a very consistent serving routine, especially if it's a little bit on the longer side, what can happen is when you go on a serving streak and you're in the middle of the game and you've served 4 or 5 serves in a row, everyone in the gym knows what you're about to do, right? You're going to walk to the line, you're going to spin the ball, you're going to bounce the ball, you're going to take a few seconds, and they're going to stop paying attention. So when you feel the time is right, what you're going to do is right at the end of the play, you're going to decide in your mind what your target is. You're going to walk casually to the line, and you're going to skip the routine. You're going to try and time it so that right when the ref blows the whistle, you're ready. And as soon as they blow the whistle, you're going to make your toss and serve the ball. I'm going to show you an example of this. I'm not the one serving, but this is an example that I caught on one of our games. If you listen to the whistle, he times it pretty well, and the people in the back row, it wasn't that hard to serve. I think they're just sort of stunned. Okay, so doing this doesn't work every time, but often you'll either get an ace or you'll get somebody who's scrambling to just make a really terrible pass just to put the ball in play. So keep that trick in the back of your mind for the time that you get the opportunity. Well, until next time, good luck on the courts. Why can't I say it? Oh, I can't say it.